Should you buy the 2020 or the 2021 Toyota Tacoma? And what does the 2021 Tacoma have to offer that the 2020 doesn't? Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and welcome back to the channel. So, should you buy the 2021 Tacoma, or if you find a 2020 sitting on a lot somewhere, should you buy the 2020? Well, you know, we're at that time of year where you can buy either the previous model year Toyota Tacoma or the brand new 2021. So the question begs, which one should you get? Well, first of all, what do you get? There aren't a lot of differences between the 2021 and the 2022 Tacoma, or the 2020 and the 2021 Tacoma. You know, you can get the Trail Special Edition or the Nightshade Edition, right? Now, I'm not going to go into great deal on those, but those are a couple of, I guess, editions that Toyota has put out because they really didn't do a lot of changes between the two model years. You know, they had to do something, right? Next, if you go with the V6 2021, you can get the dual zone auto AC system as standard. Now, they call it standard because they're saying you don't really pay any more for it, but we know the price of the 2021 is higher than the 2020 anyway, right? So in essence, you kind of do pay a little bit more for it. Now, the 2021 TRD Sport and TRD Off-Road models have access to premium remote systems. Now, I find this kind of funny myself. You know, it's that little button that's up there on your center rack area or your center console area up above. And what those premium services are, they are add-ons, if you will. It kind of reminds me of GM's OnStar, right? They're like subscriptions. You can pay for extra things. You know, trouble, if you have trouble or whatever, you can hit a button and somebody will send somebody out. Navigation systems, directions, or maybe you can just get advice. I'm not exactly sure. But premium services that you have to pay for, that now you have access to. I don't know, not much for me, really. Now, the SR5 and higher models include a first aid kit. That's pretty weak, man. I mean, you know, you can buy a first aid kit for like next to nothing, or maybe just a box of Band-Aids, I don't know. But it's almost insulting to me that Toyota threw this in as an incentive to go ahead and buy the 2021, right? I mean, I don't know if a box of Band-Aids or maybe some gauze is enough for me to pay the extra money for a 2021. I guess it's personal preference. The 2021 TRD Pro is available in the Lunar Rock color. Now, that's all good and fine if you're looking for a TRD Pro. You know, most people, I would say, probably aren't going to buy a TRD Pro. So the enticement of having the ability or the honor, I guess, to buy that new Lunar Rock color isn't really much for me. I don't know. What do you guys think of that new Lunar Rock color, by the way? Do you like it? I'm kind of neither here nor there myself. You know, I've seen pictures of it on the Tacoma, but I've never really seen one in person other than on, I believe it was a RAV4. It wasn't horrible, but I think there are better options out there that I would want to have than that new Lunar Rock. You know, it's not really my thing, but I'd be curious to know what you guys think. So, you know, the 2021s are going to be a little bit more money, and this is where it gets kind of interesting, right? Because just looking at them at face value, it would appear that the 2020 would cost you less money, but not necessarily. You know, Toyota's trying to get those 2021s out there, right? So they're offering deals that may not be reflected in just the MSRP price, right? You can get special leasing deals, you can get special financing deals. There are different rates for college students, all kinds of extra things that you probably should consider if any of those are going to be available to you, I think. For me personally, you know, I've been in this situation before. There have been times when I've been looking for a vehicle, and typically it seems to always fall at the end of the year for me. I don't know, but it just depends, I guess, on what the differences really are and what's important to you. I think in comparing them, kind of apples to oranges, or apples to apples in this case, they really are pretty much the same truck. I mean, the biggest thing is probably that dual zone air conditioning standard feature that they're offering. You know, that's kind of cool if you do a lot of driving around with your significant other or kids or maybe co-workers, I don't know, anybody else in the truck. But I don't know if that's reason enough to turn down that perfect 2020 that might be sitting on the lot somewhere, especially if you come across a dealership who's really trying to move it because they've got a truckload of 2021s coming in. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, you know, when this whole thing in the world started not long ago and production was shut down and shortages were out there, it was kind of tough, very tough to find a Toyota Tacoma at all, whether it be now a 2020 or a 2021. But I gotta say, I've been taking some trips to the lot. I do it maybe once every couple weeks or so, just to kind of see what's out there, you know? And my lot, at least, here in South Texas in the RGV, seems to have a lot of Tacomas available in a lot of different configurations. So I think, at least in my area, that shortage that we experienced maybe a month or two, something like that ago, seems to have eased up a little bit. I've seen some reports from people on the web, pictures of truckloads of Tacomas going out, and I think it may be getting a little bit better. Now, that only bodes well for you and me if you're in the market, because it gives you a little bit more bargaining power. You know, another thing that people had reported to me is dealerships charging premiums on just regular Tacomas, right? You know, typically you would only see those on the TRD Sport when they first came out, or not the Sport, the Pro when they first came out. But dealerships were actually charging premiums on just a regular TRD Off-Road or TRD Sport. So I think you can see that ease up a little bit now as well, because obviously as the numbers increase on the dealers' lots, they're not going to be able to demand premium prices on what is just a standard TRD Off-Road or TRD Sport. So that bodes well for anybody that's in the market right now. So what do you think? Given the differences that aren't between the 2021 and 2020, would you opt for a 2020 now? Or do you just have to have that brand new model year attached to it? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested and you haven't before, check out my other channel. It is RobMotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator back there. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.